Jahan Dotson, wide receiver 50, 35 receptions, 61 targets, 523 yards, 7 touchdowns, an average of 5.1 targets per game. Thoughts on Jahan Dotson?
Jahan Dotson flashed, right? Kind of came out of the gates early and then faded down the stretch a little bit. Dealt with a couple little nagging injuries his rookie season, which happens for a lot of young wide receivers as they get used to the physical nature of the NFL. He's a decent number two. Like, what I'm looking at is wide receiver 40 coming off the board at 76. Like, I don't know that I love where he's coming off the board, just because I think when you're looking at, the totality of things, I just feel like there's better options coming off in that round, right? You have DeAndre Swift, George Pickens, to Kadarius Toney, in that same range. Right behind him, Cam Akers, Isaiah Pacheco, if you're looking at that round. So if you're looking for pass catchers, Toney, Pickens, I don't know about Gabe Davis. Like, I think I'd rather have Dotson over Gabe Davis. Like, if that's kind of a benchmark for you guys, that makes sense. Just because I think both guys are a little bit boomer bust, but I'm kind of over the Gabe Davis train. Like, the hype around him for the last 2 seasons has been so high. Given his draft position, I'm not going to be drafting him. Like, I'd rather take a stab at DeAndre Swift or Cam Akers and try and get a solid backup running back out of those positions than chase that wide receiver. Or if I am going wide receiver in that range, I would much rather have George Pickens first, then probably take Kadarius Toney, and then Jahan Dotson.
The yardage I don't think is going to be there. The receptions I don't think is going to be there. But the touchdown upside is there. So if you're in like a crazy touchdown pool, you have to like your chances with Jahan Dotson. I do think that the offense being different, I think him having to learn now his third offense in 3 years is going to be a challenge. Going from the college game to his first year in Washington to now the enemy there in Washington with a new offense coming in, and developing that rapport with the Sam Howell. I think best ball format for Jahan Dotson is a really good play.
So I really wouldn't mind, drafting Jahan Dotson. Couple of things kind of stand out here for me with him, right? Played 12 games when it was all said and done. Half of those games he finished inside wide receiver 2 on the week. I'm not going to surprise me when we look up at the end of the season and we see Jahan Dotson with 55 to 60 receptions, around 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. So I think that he is going to be a kind of sneaky play and a guy that a lot of folks are forgetting about because of the fact that he didn't really have that like huge breakout splash type of deal. Some of the changeover here in Washington as well. So I think that this is a guy that I'm liking and could be a sneaky play, especially if he slips in your draft boards at all. But where he's kind of coming off the board, ADP 94, you're talking 8th round type of deal. I would certainly take a shot on him there.